Welcome everyone, nice to have you back. In today's video we will deal with the electrical stuff in the interior, especially the wires and bulbs hidden behind the dashboard. Well, it really looks messy in here, but it's not so bad after all when you've sorted it out. Today's topic is the temperature sensor of the passenger compartment of our 107 series. We will also have a brief look at our center console illumination, and we start right after the introduction. So here I am, I'm back. We're having a look at this messy job here, wires all over the place, which are hidden behind the dashboard that we have removed, but this is in another video. And this tiny piece of plastic with this tiny grill on top of it is the housing of the temperature feeler. This thing is being placed in the middle on top of the dashboard. There are two ways in reaching this part. Number one is via the middle of one of the three ventilation nozzles as shown in the picture on the left hand side. Number two is you remove the glove compartment and try to slide your right arm in behind the dashboard. It looks quite easy going right now since the dashboard has been removed. Everything behind it is in easy reach. The resistor should be right here, but is missing. Someone had been fiddling here before, maybe because of the dry rot or some other reasons. Anyway, the thing is missing. Well, never mind, this is what we are here for. We will order one via an online electronics retailer. We need an NTC with a 10 kilo ohms resistance, which will suit us fine. I simply solder it on the pins and it should work again. Well, my 10 kilo ohm NTC is now in place. Since the sensor has quite long legs, we just call them legs, we need to check if the housing still fits on the sleeve, which is being stuck from on top onto it to fit. This is how it looks like when assembled, and the plug-in sleeve is sitting on the sensor here, with this junction on the right hand side to this hose right here. This is how it looks like when assembled, and the plug-in sleeve is sitting on the sensor here with this junction on the right hand side to this hose right here. This hose often is the culprit when the connection of the plastic part is becoming loose, since the hose is some sort of foam rubber which crumbles like breadcrumbs over time, and it simply falls off. And it simply falls off from the plastic because it's not holding tightly together. Therefore the air cannot be sucked onto the feeler, and as a result the temperature cannot be measured properly. If this hose is missing already, simply use a rubber hose of any sort or something similar. Any hose will do, it just has to conduct some air. I have now connected the feeler to a multimeter. We do have some 16 to 17 degrees Celsius here in the garage. The multimeter is being set to a 20 kilos now. On the display we see the resistance of the feeler. Just to check if it is working properly by telling us the ambient temperature. We will now warm up the feeler with a generic hairdryer. As you see on the display, there is less resistance when heating up the feeler, and as soon as I switch off the hairdryer, the feeler is cooling down and the resistance is increasing. This is the way how the information is being passed on, by simply sucking air from the interior through the feeler housing where the feeler is sitting. Let us have a look at the illumination of the center console. Since the dashboard and the console has been removed, we easily see what is underneath it, where which bulb is sitting, and in an earlier video we have had the topic of how to change the bulbs of the climate control right here where the panel is normally sitting. So here we have the bulbs which are being connected in a serial, and these 4 bulbs are for the illumination of the before mentioned climate control. Here we have one sitting on a longer piece of wire. Mercedes did not produce a single switch for every lamp, but put a so-called spider centerpiece in here. At this spider-like thing, fiber optic cables are attached which lead to 2 buttons on the dash which are being used for heating of the rear window of the hard top. This separate bulb is in the housing of the switch. The information is in the drop down on the left hand side. This one here is for the light in the passenger compartment to switch it on and off regardless if a door is open or not. And this one here is for the antenna. All those switches are being illuminated with fiber optic cables which are fed from this so-called spider right here. I insert this bulb into the spider, I switch on any of these before mentioned switches, and here you go, light comes out of the end of these fibers which sit within the switches. To demonstrate this in a better way, I have switched off the light of the garage. This bulb here, which is sitting, that spider will provide the light that is visible at the end of the fibers. Here we go, another illumination is right here with the gear selector to brighten up the scale of the selector here, where I'm pointing my finger. When you switch on the front lights, this bulb here is providing the light. If I pull it slightly towards, I get to this T5 bulb. The same bulbs are being used all over the car for illumination.